A lot of people are going to be confused on how to solve this equation. But the great news about this particular problem is that even if you only know basic math and you have a calculator, you can actually get very close to the actual solution. Let's take a look at the problem. So we have 4 to the square root of x power is equal to 10, and we're trying to solve this equation for x. So once again, here is our equation. We have 4 to the square root of x is equal to 10. Now, what we're trying to do here is figure out what this value is equal to. So we have the square root of x, but let's just kind of simplify this problem in this way. So if we were thinking about this problem in this manner, 4 to something, some value is equal to 10. Let's see if we can figure out what value this is. Now, of course, we need to know something about powers. Let's just do a quick review. So if I had like 2 to the third power, the 3 up here is called the exponent. The 2 is the base. But what this is saying is take 2 and multiply it by itself this many times or 3 times. Of course, the answer here is 8. So if we have a calculator, we can kind of do some estimating to figure out generally what this value needs to be in order for the entire power to be equal to 10. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. So let's kind of draw our attention over here first. So let's suppose we said, all right, well, 4 to the first power, what is that? Well, 4 to the first power is 4. All right, now we're trying to figure out 4 to some power is equal to 10. So 1 is not enough. So let's go up 1. So 4 to the second power is what? Well, this is 4 times 4, or 16. But we're trying to figure out 4 to some power is equal to 10. So when we have 2 as our exponent, we go up to 16. So that's too much. So the value of the exponent must be between 1 and 2. So what we can do, of course, if we have a calculator, is start testing values, right? So let's just kind of split the difference here and try 1.5. So we can go into our calculators and figure out, well, what's 4 to the 1.5 power? Well, that's actually 8. Now, if you don't know how to take a power or how to find a power on a calculator, you want to look for these keys like this. So one is upside down V, that's called a caret key, or something like y to the x or x to the y. So if all you have is your cell phone, what you can do is switch your basic calculator to a scientific calculator, but this is how you find power. So what you would do is type in 4 and then one of these buttons right here, and then type in 1.5 and you should get 8. All right, now we're doing better. We have 4 to the 1.5, that's equal to 8. But remember, we're trying to figure out 4 to what power is equal to 10. So let's increase 1.5 a little bit more. Let's go up to 1.6. So 4 to the 1.6 power is approximately 9.18. And you can see we are getting closer to 10. So what we can do is just keep refining this number until we get very, very close, or as close as possible, to the value of 10. Now, once we have that number, well, then we can address this square root of x. So this is one approach, but this is not the best approach, but it is an approach for those of you out there that say, well, I don't really know a lot of algebra, but I do have a calculator, and I can, estimate a reasonable value to figure out what the answer is. But let's talk about the math here, and the actual algebra has something to do with exponents. Now, the variable x that we're trying to solve for is in the exponent location of this equation. All right, so we have a power here. Again, 4 is the base, and this part of this power is the exponent. So the way we would classify this equation in algebra is something called an exponential equation. Okay, so this is a huge topic in algebra. Now, if all you've taken is like first year algebra, let's say like Algebra 1, well, you probably have not yet studied what we're going to be talking about, and that is something called logarithms. But basically, when you have exponential equations, we need to use something called logarithms to solve exponential equations. Now, there are a few exceptions, but when you have a logarithmic equation, you need to use exponents and powers to solve those type of equations because these two right here are inverses of one another. Okay, so you typically learn this in things like Algebra 2 or courses like Algebra 2, College Algebra, Pre-Calculus. But don't worry if you've never taken any of these courses because I'm going to explain this in a very easy to understand way. Okay, now before I show you how we're going to use logarithms to solve this exponential equation, let's talk about what a logarithm is. So on your calculator, if you have a scientific or graphing calculator, you'll see these buttons right here. One is called the LOG button, and the other is the LN button. Now, these two buttons or functions on your calculator are logarithm functions. So if you were ever curious, you're like, Mr. YouTube Math Man, I always wonder what those buttons are. Well, these buttons, again, have to deal with logarithms. Now, the log or a logarithm of a number is simply a number. So if you have a calculator handy, you could just type in a number and find the logarithm of it. You'll see some decimal kind of, come out. So the logarithm of a number is just a value. So we want to keep this in mind because this is going to be important in just 1 second. But let's talk about what an actual logarithm is. Okay, so let's take a look at this example right here. So we have 2 to the third power, and this is equal to 8. So just to kind of make sure we understand the nomenclature here, the terminology, so 2 is the base, all right? So we have a power right here. 3 is the exponent, and the answer here is 8. Okay, so when we have a base to a certain exponent, well, that's going to be equal to an answer. But here's the thing. Every exponential or power situation we can express as a logarithm. So the way this is going to work is the following. Okay, so what we have is this kind of formula or format. So the log, we can take a power situation, and I want you to remember this. Let me kind of back up here because I'm going to give you a nice, lovely phrase, and that is bacon and eggs. I'll say that one more time because a lot of you just couldn't believe your ears. You're like, that guy say bacon and eggs? That's exactly what I said, bacon and eggs. Okay, so bacon and eggs. What does that mean? Well, the log, okay, we could think of log BA is equal to E. So the B is the base, the log. Okay, in other words, we can write a power this way. The log, and then we can write the base here. The answer here is equal to the exponent. So a kind of better way to kind of see this is an actual example. So here we have the base 2 to the exponent 3, and that's equal to the answer 8. Well, I can express this entire situation with the logarithm. So it's going to be log, the base is 2, okay, bacon and eggs. The answer is 8, and this is equal to the exponent of 3. Okay, so if you can remember this, and again, we're going to have to remember how to go from a power situation to a logarithm and a logarithm back to a power situation. So this is really critical in mathematics, but again, this is what a logarithm is. It's just another way to express power and exponential kind of situations. Okay, so a couple big concepts before we move forward. This is what a logarithm is, and a log, okay, the logarithm of a number is just a number. Now let's talk about this base stuff right here. So here we have the base of 2, and let's go back to these calculator functions right here. So this LOG button right here, this is log base 10. This is referred to as the common logarithm. And then this ln right here is something called log base e. And e is the natural base, and that is a particular specific number. So if we wanted to find log base 2, we have to work through a few formulas. All this stuff is not that difficult. It's just a lot to kind of memorize. There's a lot of properties here, but we can easily find something that is log base 2. We just don't have a calculator function that is log base 2. So again, the only things on our calculator are the common log, log base 10, and this button right here, log base e. Okay, so now that we understand logarithms, we could put all this together to solve this equation. Are you struggling in math because of confusing lessons? Maybe the teacher's not showing you all the steps you need, or things are happening too fast. Well, there is a better way. So come on over to my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. There you'll find clear step by step instruction by me that will definitely make a huge difference in your math success. So make sure to check out all my courses by following the links in the description. So again, here is our problem, and we now know that we're trying to solve for the variable in the exponent spot. So we're dealing with an exponential equation, meaning that we're going to have to use logarithms. So here is the procedure on how to use logarithms to solve a basic exponential equation. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is take the log of both sides of the equation, or the logarithm of both sides of the equation. Now you might be asking yourself, well, do we use the log or the ln? Well, you're always going to use the log button unless your base is e. So if we have something like e to the x power is equal to 10, if you see this e, well, you'll use the ln button. Everything else you'll use the common logarithm, log. Okay, so we're going to take the log of both sides of the equation. So remember, the log of a number is just a number. So you could go into your calculator and start calculating these values, but we don't want to do that. We'll do all of this at the end. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just one second. But here is the big deal about taking the logarithm of both sides of the equation. So we have to solve for this variable up here, this square root of x, and it's up in this exponent spot. Well, the great thing about logarithms is that we have a property or a rule of logarithms that allows us to drop this thing right in front of this log 4. Okay, so this is really important because this is really the key in order to solve for x. Okay, so again, we have a property or a rule that allows us to take the exponent and put it right in front of the log. So the log of a power, when you have log x squared, this number up here, this exponent, we can drop in front of the log. So for example, here, this is equal to 2 times log x. All right, so right here, we have the square root of x log 4 is equal to log 10. Now remember, we have values here. Log 4, this is a value we can get in our calculator, and so is this. So if you kind of stand back, we have a basic algebraic equation. So really we have something like the square root of x is equal to, let's just make up a value, log 4. Let's say this was equal to 2, and this over here was log 10. Let's say that was equal to 8. So algebraically, we have the square root of x times 2 is equal to 8. So if we're trying to solve for the square root of x, and let's write this a little bit better, algebraically, we would write this way. 2 times the square root of x is equal to 8. So if we're trying to isolate the square root of x, all we have to do is divide both sides of the equation by 2, and we would have the square root of x all by itself. And that's basically what we're going to be doing next. Okay, we're going to isolate this square root of x by dividing both sides of the equation by log of 4. So we're getting pretty close to the final solution. Now the next thing that we want to do here is divide both sides of the equation by log 4. Again, we're talking about basic algebra here because we want to isolate this square root of x on the left-hand side of the equation. In other words, we want the square root of x is equal to some number. So from a basic algebra standpoint, all we have to do is divide both sides of the equation by log 4, and we'll have the square root of x all by itself on the left-hand side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have the square root of x times log 4 divided by log 4 is equal to log 10 divided by log 4. Okay, so log 4 divided by log 4 is 1. So now we have the square root of x all by itself. And finally, we're going to use our calculator here. So log 10 divided by log 4, when we type this into our calculators, we're going to get this decimal right here. Okay, so now we have the square root of x is approximately equal to 1.6609. Now this value hopefully looks kind of familiar. So remember in the beginning of this video when we were testing values, we were trying to figure out 4 to what value is equal to 10. So we tried different values. 4 to the first, that was too small. 4 to the second, that's 16, that's too big. Then we tried 1.5, that was 8. And then we tried 1.6, that was 9 point something. But if we plug in 4 to the 1.6609, we're going to get very, very close to 10. So the value of the exponent here has to be 1.6609. But the exponent, this entire thing in our equation, is the square root of x. So we're trying to solve for x, so we're not done yet. So we have to solve this basic square root equation. Now, just a quick review to solve a basic square root equation. Let's take this simple example here. The square root of x is equal to 2. So the square root of what number is 2? Well, that number is 4, right? So the way we solve square root equations or radical equations is we raise both sides of the equation to that power. So we're going to square both sides of a square root equation. So the square root of x squared is x, and of course we have 2 squared, which is 4. Now, just for those of you that know or think or two about radical equations, what we have to do is check these solutions because you could have something called extraneous solutions, but I don't want to go off on too many tangents here and make this video any longer than it needs to be. But the basic idea here is that we now need to square both sides of this equation to solve for x, right? So we're not done yet here. So the square root of x squared is x, and 1.6609 squared is going to be approximately 2.7585. Okay, so how did you do? Well, if you got this right, that is very impressive. Matter of fact, you're going to get a nice happy face and an A plus and a 100%. So sincerely, I really do mean that if you figured this out, that was really, really good. All right, now hopefully this little video helped you out. And if you need additional help in algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, pre-calculus, I have a ton of additional videos on my YouTube channel. Also, to make sure to check out all my math courses, you can find links to all of those in the description of this video. All right, so with all that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your math adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.